Group fitness is dead, and in this video I'm going to show you why it's becoming harder for you to run profitable group fitness classes and what you can do instead to add in tens of thousands of dollars extra revenue per month. Let's dive in. So let's say this is your gym, and your gym is, let's say, 1,700 square feet, which I would say is like pretty average for, the small micro gym. 1,700 square feet, just around 2,000. And in this case, you can only fit in 15 people inside your group class, okay? So 15 people, and during this time, because your gym is 1,700 square feet, you can't fit anything else. Maybe you can fit in one personal training session, let's just say, okay? But 15 people maximum inside the group class. Now, this means that you can't train anybody else. So that means that there's no chance for like other personal training sessions or anything like that. And let's say if you did keep it open, that you could have 4 PT sessions going. Okay, so that's 8 people, right? 15 people can fit in a group class, but then PT sessions, you want it to be a little bit more spread out, have a little more space, not wait for equipment and stuff. So let's say you can fit in 4, okay, which is pretty reasonable. Now, let's keep going down. The first thing that you have to figure out if group classes are worth it for you is your revenue per attendee per class, your RAC. So the way that you figure this out is by figuring out your unlimited membership price, okay, pretty standard, divided by your average monthly sessions per client. Now you could use your average membership price, your average one, right? But this number is just really easy to figure out, so we're just going to use unlimited membership price. And let's say each attendee comes in 2.5 times per week, which is 2 to 3 times per week. So let's say your unlimited membership price is $150 divided by 10, which is your average monthly sessions per client, equals $15. So this right here is your RAC, your revenue per attendee per class, $15. Each time you see somebody in your class, you're like, you're worth $15, okay? Now we're gonna figure out your revenue per class, which is your average class size multiplied by revenue per attendee per class, which is your RAC, right? And your average class size is not your maximum class size, okay, which is 15 here. It's actually your average class size, like how many people are coming in per class, okay? So let's say in our example, your gym's pretty good, every single class, you're like almost maxed out, you're at 80%, so let's use 12, okay? So 12 multiplied by 15, which is your RAC, right, equals 180. So that means your group class is worth $180, and you're like, wow, $180, like that's pretty good because I'm getting paid $180, like that's pretty awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do some math here. Okay, so now we're gonna figure out your revenue for PT, right, which is your cost of personal training multiplied by the amount of members per hour, which we figured out is 4, okay? So let's go 80, which is your cost of personal training, multiplied by 4 equals 320. So that's your revenue for PT that you could have had if you didn't run the group classes. I know you're thinking like, oh, in my city, we can only charge $60 per session. Okay, so let's use that. Let's use 240. Okay, so we use both examples, $80 and $60 per hour, which is for $60 is 240. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna figure out your group class profit after instructor pay. Okay, so we're gonna take $180, right, minus 25. Let's say you're paying your instructors $25 an hour, pretty good, equals $155. So that's how much you're making of profit. So this is gross profit after you pay the trainers, right? So personal training profit after training pay, though, is 320 minus 100 because there's 4 of them, and you got to pay each one $25 an hour, equals 220. You thought like, oh, I got you here. I only have to pay 1 trainer, but you got to pay 4. It's still more profitable by $65. If you resonate with this video so far and the numbers make sense and you want us to install $1 million personal training program and marketing system into your business, all done for you end to end, all you have to do is click the link in the description and we'll get you started. But you're not going to stop there. You're going to say, oh, like I said, in my city, we only can charge $60 per hour. Okay, so let's do that math. So $60 per hour, okay, equals $240 revenue per class. Minus 72 though. The reason why we do minus 72 is because you're not going to pay your trainers $25 per hour if you're only charging 60, right? So you have to, it has to be in line. The margins have to make sense. Equals 168. So it's still more profitable. And the thing is, you're going to think like, I can just increase my prices of my group classes, right? Yeah, you can. Totally. I think you should. But the thing is, though, when your unlimited membership price is 150, and Orange Theory down the street charges 150, and an F45 charges 150, and they have really nice, clean facilities, and they have like solid instructors, solid classes, TVs everywhere, high quality equipment. Why would I go to you? Okay, so that means you have to make your product better. You have to add a transformation program. Okay, so then let's do that. Let's add the transformation program, make it more expensive because now you can do nutrition and stuff. Okay, but then you could do that with your personal training program too, and you could charge more. That's what we do. We're the highest, most expensive gym in the city, and it's because we have a transformation program bolted on. So we do charge more. So you're like the math is basically never right. And here's the thing: the group class participants needed is 12. The PT clients needed is 4. So what do you think is easier to get? It's 4, obviously. 4 is way easier to get. Like, you have to find 12 people to come to your classes every single hour, right? I just need to find 4 PT clients, but it doesn't stop there. So the difference, right? PT is easier to deal with because you're dealing with wealthier population. Everybody has had chargebacks, bounces, like there's so many problems, refunds, and like people saying like, oh, I'll pay you next time, I'll pay you next time, I'll pay you next time, and then just ghosting you. And then people just leaving. People stop like going and moving to another gym easily. The thing is though, less people are also easier to deal with because if there's only 4 people, right, and like 25% of them suck, that's only 1 person. But if you're dealing with 12 people and 25% of them suck, that's 3 people, right? And let's say also you have less churn when you're running PT because it's harder to have committed people when there's no connection. Your group class has like 20 people inside. You're not going to be able to connect with Nancy and Doug and Jane. Like you have to, it's going to be really hard. But when you have one personal training client connecting with one personal trainer, it's really easy to maintain that client because there's a huge connection. It almost like when you're breaking up with a personal trainer, it feels like a breakup. Like it feels like, why are you leaving? Like, what are you going to do? Right? So the bigger the class, yes, the higher the margin, but the harder it is to make connections, and then the more likely people are going to be to leave. Right? And the thing is, when you're looking at like Orange Theory or F45, you're thinking like, they do it. The thing is, though, they have so many people coming in because they have the brand. The brand is always there, right? But the problem is, like, most micro gyms don't have that big brand, and it makes it really hard for people to stay for a long term and also to find new people, okay? And so you have this leaky bucket system where people are just leaving all the time because there's no connection to the gym. Like, why should I stay? Like, it's really easy to break up with you. And then from here, you have like the maybe sort of downside of personal training, okay? Which is it's harder to attract the right people in some cases. And also it can be harder to sell in some cases. But for us, it's actually really easy to sell. Because the thing is, we've built this marketing machine. We have our podcast, we have our YouTube. People connect with us on so many levels before they even come in. Like I can't tell you how many times people have come in and they're like, "Yeah, I've listened to your podcast. I've watched I watched some videos on Instagram, and I saw that you guys have a transformation program. And then I Google searched you, and then you came up as like 5-star reviews, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is the place to go." Because there's nowhere else in the city that's like even remotely close. So then it's really easy for us to sell people. People come in and they're already sold. You're just always continuously looking for the right person. And so that means that if you run a gym that's actually legit, you can make it easy for you to find people, which is what we do. And if you want us to bolt this exact same system, this exact same personal training program and the marketing system into your business, just click that link below in the description. But that's how you run a legit gym where it's extremely profitable and also you don't have as many members to deal with, so it's really easy to run. But that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video.